Hello, I'm Linda. Today I'm going to do a game review of a game called No Thanks. There we go. No Thanks. It sells about $10 on Amazon and it can be played from 3 to 5 players. It says it'll take about 20 minutes. Sometimes it definitely takes us a lot less. And the age is 13 plus, but as long as you know how to count, you're fine. I think like 8-year-old, 9-year-old, that's fine. Good enough. Don't know how to math by then. Anyway, the objective of the game is to have the least amount of points possible, and it's possible to have negative points, but that's generally pretty rare. So you'll get a deck of cards, and it ranges from number 3 to 35. So like this deck of cards, and the number on it indicates the number of points you score. So once you acquired this card, you'll score 28 points. So remember, the objective of the game is to have the least amount of points, so you probably don't want to score those, right? Okay, anyway, at the beginning of the game, you'll get these chips. These are like, they actually count as negative points for you. They're also your kind of like passing chips, like no, I don't want this, no thanks, which is the objective of the game. So it's kind of like your right to say no thanks. Anyway, everyone gets 11 coins at the start of the game, and these coins are private information. I mean, yeah, sure, in the beginning you all know that you have 11 points for each player, but as time goes by, you will not, keep track of that number, and that number would be more or less private. So I would just hold it in your hands or whatever. Anyway, so you have 3 to 35, and then 9 cards will be taken out at the beginning of the game, and then another card will be flipped up, and then you start kind of this bidding war of not wanting the card or whatever. So let me just take out 9 out as an example. So I took out 9 cards, and then this card deck, I just flipped one open, and then it's a 26. So then if I am the first player, I'm just gonna go ahead and select. If I want the card, I keep it, and then I flip up another card, right? If I don't want it, I just put in my little chip and say no thanks, and then it passes to the next person, and then they get to decide whether this is worth it to them or not. So for example, if there are already 4 chips on it, the actual value of this card is not 26 but 22, right? So the value of the card decreases. So if there's like 13 chips on here, it might be worth it to take the card, and I'll explain that why in a minute. So let's say you take this 26 card and you get the chips on it, then the next card appears. Say the next card appeared is a 25. So the next card appeared is a 25. If you happen to get this card, if you chain them together, 25, 26, then only the lower card counts. So only the 25 counts, and then the 26 doesn't count towards any of your points. So if you get the 25, essentially, this is free. And if you can get more points from the 25, say you get 12 coins from the 25, then you've essentially paid nothing for these, right? Because you already got the 13 here, and then you got the 12 here. 13 plus 12 is 25. It cancels this card out, so you net 0 from that transaction. And that's really the objective of the game. You are trying to get as low as possible. So whenever you flip a new card, you become the person having to do the first rejection or acceptance. In the case, this number is a 32, so a lot of people might reject it because the highest is a 35, right? So this is a pretty high number. It's possible it goes down to 10, 15 coins on here until someone decides this might be worth it. Another risk that you may run into this game is at the beginning of the game, like I mentioned, we set out 9 cards aside, and then nobody knows what those 9 cards are. So it's possible that when this deck runs out, the game ends. But as the deck runs out, you don't know whether you are able to chain them together. You don't know whether you can get the 27, 28, 29, 30 in order to chain the 31. And sometimes you might take a gamble at getting a 32 in the hopes of getting a 33 and kind of milk other people for their coins or something like that. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that maybe you're trying to milk for, maybe there's a 25, and then so you're trying to milk people for the 26 to get them to drop more coins, but because people's coins are private, you don't know if somebody's able to pay the no thanks coin, right? It's possible that they have no coins left and they have to take that pile. They have to take the 26. In that case, it's kind of just like wasted for you. Well, they're kind of not in a great position either. So that brings kind of an element of you can't plan everything, both the night cards taken out and also you not knowing how many chips people have left. When I play this game, I find that sometimes I'm very vengeful. Like, I know people who want to milk the 26 and then I get so vengeful. It's like, I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna take it to screw you over because I know I'm gonna lose and I don't want you to win, kind of a thing. Most of the times I do it just so that like I could get a chance at a 27 or something like that, or if I'm running low on my card, or running low on my chips. So if I have like 1 or 2 chips left, I usually just try to, I'm not that risky, so I usually just try to take the card. Some people I know do it where they don't have any chips left. And I find that very, very risky, because if you don't have any chips left and somebody else grabbed it before you are able to grab a deck with chips on it, and then they put down something, it's possible that you only get 1 chip or 2 chip, and in that case it's going very bad for you. So that's essentially the gist of the game. At the end of the game, you count up all of your points. In this case, it's 25 plus 32, so that's 57, and then you minus all of your chips, and that's your final score. And then you compare it with other people, and whomever has the lowest wins the game. It's a very simple game, sound counting kind of. People have different strategies. Like, some people would choose to not get any cards at all, or get the lower cards, or get the 30s cards, because not a lot of people want them, or so that they will be able to kind of milk people for it, just so that they can get more coins. Or some people would like diversify, like maybe some 20s, maybe some 15s, maybe some 30, or I don't know, all sorts of different strategies to win. And it's just kind of interesting to see what they are. And then it depends on the kind of people that you play with. Like, some people are really like risk loving, so they're more likely to like chance it, and some people are more reserved and they'll be more calculating and things like that. Yeah, that's about it. It's a fun, quick, short, easy game to play. I usually play like in between games, like in between like really intense games or like long games. In between those, you want like a quick short break to reset your mindset, to reset just reset everything. This would be a good game for it, and you can really stop anytime you want. So if somebody has to leave in the middle of it or something, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so I really like this game. It's pretty simple and easy to play. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for listening.